Good morning, Adam. You right?
Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, Michael?
Yeah, it's morning when I'm listening to this and when most people are as well. So, yeah. How's things?
Fine, thank you. Yeah, it's been a little while, but I've not really been up to too much, to be honest. So, yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I have been incredibly busy, which is obviously why we haven't recorded a podcast since just before the World Cup final. But yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to today's episode. We have a very hyper-focused episode today on Premier League home kits. But before we do all that stuff, have you bought anything new recently?
I have, and I am wearing it. So those of you watching will be able to see this, but those of you that are listening, I have got the Liverpool away shirt from this season on. So it's the white one with the trefoil. It's got a lovely kind of V-neck collar, a little bit of grey on the collar, which is quite nice. Authentic version because I am a snob. And yeah, it's good. I like it. Long sleeve also. Long sleeve. So yeah, how about you, Mike?
It's a lovely shirt, Adam. Yeah, I have. So last week I bought a Captain Enoch Star Wars Black Series helmet for my collection. Oh, you mean football shirts? Right.
Yes, I mean football shirts, Mike.
Yeah,
Please.
okay. I won't talk about that then. I have actually bought a football shirt. So I have not collected it yet because it is at a collection point near my work. And I was so busy today on my return to work that I didn't have a chance to go and pick it up. But I am about to pick up my first Bayern Munich shirt in about 2.5 years.
Is bonkers. That's mad talk. Which one is it?
It is the white home shirt that they had a couple of seasons ago. I've put off buying Bayern shirts. That's hard to say fast. I've put off buying Bayern shirts for a while now because I've spoken about this before on the certainly on the previous iteration of this podcast. Part of the fun of shirts for me is the hunt, is finding the shirts you want, getting them for a bargain. And when you only have the current season to buy, that just is non-existent. So I decided to hold off on buying any Bayern Munich shirts for as long as it took for me to decide to start buying them again. And because I'm finding my Fenerbahce hunt quite difficult for some of the shirts that I want, I am now starting to look at the Bayern shirts again. Yeah, so I picked up the white home shirt, which we're 26, 27 now, 25, 26. It would have been 24, 25, I believe. And I picked it up for the princely sum of £10 on Vinted, and it is 100% authentic, and I'm looking forward to picking that one up. But that is all I've picked up recently because I have been focused on other things like decorating my living room with Star Wars helmets, which is fun as well. I cannot complain at that, but it's still, good purchase. I'm pleased with that.
Very nice. Yeah. Strange one, that shirt, isn't it? Because obviously it kind of switched the home colours somewhat. And I found it interesting because one of the things the Bayern fans seem to be very keen on is that Adidas don't mess about with things. And Adidas keep messing about with things with Bayern Munich home shirts. So, yeah, I feel like they're trolling at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I almost think it's because the Ultras kicked off about the blue. They said, well, if you're not letting us have the blue, we're going to really piss about with it. And they have. Yeah. The white one, I didn't dislike as a football kit. I didn't hate the fact that it was a white home shirt. It was a throwback to a white home shirt of many, many years ago, which I don't mind that. One of the reasons I started collecting Bayern shirts was because the sheer variation in their home shirts as well. So, I'm not against it. But I still don't even want to talk about last season's. It was just so bad. But yeah, exactly. We'll not do that. We are here, Adam, to talk about kits. Surprise, surprise. And this week we really are talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We are talking Premier League home shirts for the 26-27 season. Now, we have ranked these shirts from 1 to 20. We've been ranking all day to get ready for this pod.
Jesus Christ, Mike. You've been storing that one up, haven't you?
I have. And I have just about managed to do it.
Let it go, mate. Let it all out.
I have now. It's complete. I have my list. So one thing I will say, Adam, did you find it hard to do this?
No, not at all, actually. I feel that there are So essentially what we've done, everyone, just to kind of explain it, we have ranked them. Obviously, there's 20 shirts. And we've started from the bottom. So the bottom shirt gets 1 point, then the next one gets 2 points, all the way up to 20 points. And then we're going to add our totals together to find a joint top shirt. But honestly, no, I think there's some standout shirts, and I think there's some proper duff ones, and I think there's some just average ones. So I didn't find it very difficult at all, actually. Did you?
I did, but only when it got to, say, my top 8, maybe.
Okay.
My sort of like bottom quarter of the 20, if you like, I found quite easy, because I think there aren't, and this is genuinely a good thing, there aren't many bad shirts this year for the Premier League. I think, as you say, there are some very, very meh ones, but my honest opinion, I only think there are, I would say, 3 bad/terrible football home shirts this year.
Okay, I'm intrigued to see, because there are 3 for me, which I would say are dreadful, and I'm intrigued to see if we're thinking along the same lines. Because interesting. I am intrigued to see.
Yes,
I think we're gonna. I don't think that, again, there's only 2 of us, so I don't think it's going to be massively dissimilar. But I think there might be a few where I'm like, "What are you on about?" and vice versa. So yeah. Okay. I'm looking forward to this, actually. I think it's going to be interesting.
It will. Right. Before we get into our lists and our scoring, I'm going to give you a few stats. So.
Oh, go on then. Love a good stat.
Yeah. All of this stuff is from Football Kit Archive. So if it's wrong, bother them about it, not me. So how many technical partners do you think are involved in the Premier League kit supply this year?
Oh, good question. So we've got obviously Nike, Adidas, we've got Umbro, we've got Puma, we've got Oxen, Hummel, Macron. So probably like one I'm missing or something, 1 or 2 are missing. Oh, you're giggling a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's hard to think of them. I'm going to put you out of your misery, and I'm going to tell you what they are. So there are 9 kit suppliers this season for the Premier League. The most is Adidas with 8 clubs, and those clubs are Arsenal, Aston Villa, Fulham, Leeds, Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest. Then we have Nike and Hummel, both with 3 clubs each. Hummel are with Bournemouth, Coventry, and Sunderland, and Nike have Brighton, Chelsea, and Spurs. Then we have Puma, just the one, with Man City, Umbro with Ipswich, Oxen with Hull, Castore with Everton.
Of course, yeah, but Everton.
I know.
I'm
easy to forget, though. Macron with Crystal Palace, Joma with Brentford. So we've got a good mix, but away from the suppliers, my favourite thing this season, no gambling sponsors front of the shirt. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing. Unfortunately, I did get into a rather heated debate with somebody on Twitter about this. I'm not particularly happy with Aston Villa's front of shirt sponsor with with what they've chosen to go with. Go and have a look at it, and it's up to you if you decide it's a good or a bad thing. But personally, it's against everything that I stand for. So for me, it's not great. But the betting sponsors being gone is ultimately a good thing, because now we have this on front of shirts. Again, this is all on Football Kit Archive. We have finance sponsors, airline, no sponsor, food and beverage, technology, human resources, insurance, software, telecommunication, and 1 Aston Villa with tourism. So I think that's a positive move, though, isn't it? Seeing those betting, gambling sponsors gone from front of shirt.
I mean, it is, but also take me back to the days of beer and technology, frankly. Like, I know some people might actually say, do you know what, like, alcohol is just as bad as betting. I think that there is a debate to be had there. But one of my issues with betting sponsors is simply they look naff anyway. Like a lot of the really random ones that aren't even based in the UK, the logos are dreadful. Whereas, take me back to Carlsberg, Newcastle Brown Ale, but also JVC and Sharp, things like that. I miss those days. I do miss those days. But it is a step in the right direction. I do agree. Even if they are, a lot of them, say, for example, with Aston Villa and Everton, for example, they've just moved the betting sponsor to the sleeve, but it is progress. It is progress.
It is. And just to confirm, I do actually completely agree with what you said, because the post that I actually wrote on Twitter was about the new Villa sponsor and said, can we please just go back to photocopiers, yogurts, vans and charities, please? So I don't disagree
Yogurt
at
well.
all. Honestly, I love it. I don't care what anyone says. Muller is one of the greatest shirt sponsors of all time.
I just want Petit Falou on my shirt.
I bet someone has somewhere. We got to have a look. Right, Adam,
anyway,
we need to get through this list. So what I'll do, I am going to work my way through alphabetically, and we are going to give our scores, and we're both going to jot each other's scores down as we go to make sure none of us can mess this up. Mm-hmm. So, Adam, first kit, and we are going in with a cracker. AFC Bournemouth.
See, the list I have Bournemouth. I know technically they're AFC, but they're third on my list. So you've messed me around already. Okay, we're going to Bournemouth. So this might not surprise anyone, but I have them in 20th place, and they get 1 point from me.
Wow.
What about you, Mike?
Okay. I have Bournemouth in 19th place, so they get 2 points from me.
Well, there we go. So again, some of you, those of you watching, you will see the Bournemouth shirt on the screen now. There are some shirts, as we will go along, that either have a sponsor we don't like, maybe like Aston Villa, but I haven't judged them too harshly on it because the sponsor, at least it fits the design of the shirt. And there are other ones where we can't judge them because they haven't got sponsors yet. However, I said this in the last episode we did, Vitality should hang their heads in shame. And this will also count when we talk about the away shirts and the third shirts, a great big pink Vitality logo. I said before that when Bournemouth left BJ88, the fans must have been rejoicing, but no, somehow Vitality, who are, absolutely fine, like they're an insurance sponsor, they got a little natty dog that sometimes you see on the advertising hoardings running around the side of the pitch. Why didn't they just go for the word mark? I don't understand. It's ruined this shirt. And I know Hummel have tried their best by adding like a black circle around it, but it annoyed me so much that I've put it in last place. And you don't like it much either, Mike, so.
No, I really, really don't. Look, every single shirt that I have scored purely based on aesthetics. There's no history involved. This for me is purely about how I think that shirt looks. And if it's been worn on the pitch, I even had a little look to see what it looked like on the pitch, and that did influence some of the scores that I've given as well. I absolutely despise that sponsor. It is horrific. Like, the shirt could have been a really, really good shirt. If you take that sponsor away, that's a really good, solid first shirt for Hummel with Bournemouth, but there's no getting away from it. Unfortunately, sponsors, as we say on this, can make or break shirts, and this one, it absolutely breaks it. That's that.
Yep, that is that.
That is that. Right, next up. Sorry to have messed your order up, but next.
No, you're fine.
Arsenal.
Well, we'll try and take it in turns. So what do you think, Mike? Where have you put Arsenal?
So I have put Arsenal in 7th place, meaning I'm giving them 14 points.
Intriguing. I have put Arsenal in 7th place, giving them 14 points.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So we're on the same thinking with this one. It's above average.
I like it. I like that a lot. Look, it's a good solid shirt. I like the combination of reds on there. I know that a few people have commented on that they don't like it. For me, I like it. I don't think there's anything wrong with using a couple of different shades of red. I think the stripes, the collar and the cuff all stand out really, really nicely. I like that dark shade of red they've used for that. Very similar to the craft red that Bayern use on their shirts sometimes. And I just think it looks really good. It's a smart shirt. It's a good, solid shirt. It's going to look good on the pitch. I know we're not talking about them, but the away and third for Arsenal this year are brilliant as well. They've all round got a really, really good set of kits, but the home as a neutral, really good solid kit.
Yeah, I agree. We've talked before about the really big stripes on the Adidas home and third shirts this season, that they're a lot thicker. And for some shirts, I don't think they work as well. But this one, because they have got the 2 darker stripes and then the lighter red stripe, I think it makes it stand out that little bit more. And yeah, like it's not groundbreaking, but often home shirts aren't, although there are some very good ones this year. But I think as Arsenal shirts go, it's probably not my favourite home shirt and Adidas have done, but it's solid. And yeah, dare I say it is, and through gritted teeth, worthy of champions. So yeah, there we go.
Fair. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep. On to the next one.
Oh, I've been intrigued on this one. It's Aston Villa, isn't it, Mike? So
it is.
I'm going to go
come on,
first.
You go first. Yeah.
I'm going to go first. So I have put it, despite the sponsor, in 5th place, which awards it 16 points.
Intriguing, because I too have put it in 5th place with 16 points.
Oh,
now,
see, this is
for
the
those
trouble.
listening. We completely kept these scores away from each other because we wanted the surprise reaction when we were doing it. But obviously, yeah, you go first. What do you think about the shirt?
I think it's solid, and again, I think it's one of those ones. So again, those of you watching, it will be on the screen, but for those of you listening, if you haven't seen it, it doesn't have the light blue sleeves, but it does have the big, bold Adidas stripes in light blue. And I think that does enough to make it still feel very Villa. And yeah, the template itself is very smart. I quite like the collar, and there's like a little kind of rectangle just below the fold over collar. It's a smart shirt, and I like the fact that the badges, I don't mind it if they mix the badge up too much. Like sometimes I think they have to be careful with home shirts, but it's just claret and blue. And I think it does actually work really well with this template. So yeah, I think it's a really good effort. Maybe the sponsor's not ideal, and also I always like when Villa shirts have a dash of yellow, but yeah, it's very good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, pretty much agree on all fronts. I'm going to put the sponsor aside. I've had my rant about that. If I had one niggle, it would be that all of the detailing is in that really, really nice pastel-y light blue, and the sponsor is just white. I think that could have been changed to match the color of everything else, and it would have been near perfect. Again, I've said this before as well. A hint of yellow on Aston Villa shirts makes them perfect for me. So that would have, if this had hints of yellow in it, it probably would have been my number one shirt, because it's brilliant. As an Aston Villa fan, a lot of people talk about how Villa shirts should have blue sleeves. I don't agree. I don't necessarily think that's the case. One of the things, again, that I love about Aston Villa is over the years, we varied the style of our home shirt greatly.
Well, there's that Reebok one, which was really thick stripes, which I like. Yeah, obviously, you've got the classic Asics one, which I think a lot of people will hark back to. But one I really liked was that V-neck Reebok one with, just really thick stripes. So, I agree with you, actually. I like it when they mix it up.
That's a beautiful shirt. I would be happy to see an Aston Villa shirt that was claret and blue stripes in a traditional stripe pattern. It's not going to be for everybody, but I think it would look incredibly good. Trabzonspor used that colour palette. They've had stripes. It looks incredibly good. But a couple of my favourite Villa shirts of all time don't have the blue sleeves, like the Luke promotion shirt that we wore. As you say, the Asics has the blue pinstripes, but it does not have solid blue sleeves. I just really, really like it. It's by far my favourite home shirt that Adidas have done for us so far. Yeah, good. I like it.
Excellent. What's next, Mike?
Next, we have Brentford FC. So I am going to go first with this one. And I was pleasantly surprised how much I liked this shirt. I have ranked this one at number 6, giving it 15 points.
Okay. No, that's good. So I kind of chewed and throwed on it. I ended up putting it 10th. So that got 11 points. So remind me what you said again?
15 points, 6.
15 points. I'm just going to write that down. And
yep.
So I put 11. So I said 10th.
Look,
I do like it. I like the flash of yellow on it. I think that's quite cool.
I liked it because I think it does a couple of things really, really well that sometimes striped shirts don't do. One, I think the manufacturer logo and the badge placement is really, really nice for them both to be inside one of the red stripes. I think the collar and cuff match, which is lovely. They've then brought that just like almost, it's almost an ambery yellow, isn't it? It's not a really, really bright yellow. That runs down the torso, splitting the front from the back of the shirt. I'm sure if we looked at the back of the shirt, it will have a plain back. So that's, I think that's a good way of dividing the shirt up sometimes when that happens, because when the stripes just really bluntly stop, I think it can look terrible. But yeah, when I was looking through this list, I've got to be honest, I liked this shirt a lot more than I realized. I saw it come out on release and didn't really pay much attention to it. But then when I was putting this list together, when I put my list together, by the way, I started at the bottom and I worked my way to the top, because I felt it was easier for me to pick out the ones I didn't really like first or had no real feelings about. And I realized once I got to the top sort of like 8, this shirt was still there for me to put in because I really, really liked it. Yeah, I think it's a really, really good, solid shirt. And it's cool to see Joma in the Premier League as well.
Yeah, I got a lot of time for Joma. They make Norwich's kits and I live in Norwich and they've done a really good job with them. So, yeah, even though I ranked it slightly lower than you, I don't disagree with what you've done, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does. Right, on to the next one, Adam. Brighton and Hove Albion.
So this is one that I feel like could go either way with you, but I've been quite harsh. I put it in 16th place and gave it 5 points. And kind of the reason for that is just, it's a bit generic for me. And I always feel that with Brighton. I feel like they're not one of their so-called elite clubs. And I think they get, I don't know, I don't think they put the effort into Brighton that I think Brighton's stay in the Premier League actually deserves. But anyway, so yeah. So 5 points, 16th place.
Completely agreed, because I gave it 5 points and put it in 16th place.
Well, there we go.
It is, so do you know what? It's so close for me to being a really, really good shirt that almost stokes little memories of that really, really cool USA shirt with the blue and the pinstripe. But just something about it doesn't work. The pinstripes look messy on it, the way they join from the sleeves to the body. I think the blank box around the American Express sponsor is completely unnecessary, because even with those pinstripes running through it, it is not going to hinder that at all. And it's just a bit meh. There's nothing terrible about it, but there's also nothing outstanding about it. Hence me giving it exactly the same position and points as you. So
well, there we go.
That's that.
There's
really not much else I can say about that one.
It's a blue shirt with white pinstripes. There we go.
So the next one, I'm very intrigued to see what you've done with this one. So we are on to Chelsea. So I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
I have put this one in 12th place with 9 points. Now, I kind of feel the same about this one as I did about the Brighton shirt, in that I feel like it's close to being a really, really good shirt, but there just feels like there's something missing with it. And I don't really know what it is. Chelsea fans seem to largely like it, which is great. I think that, we're not doing this based on the fan base. We're doing it as neutrals, just whether we like the way a football shirt looks or not. But for me, this one, I don't know. It just felt a little missing something. I don't know. It just, it's okay. Again, it's not offensive, but yeah.
Yeah, so I actually had it in 15th place and I gave it 6 points. And I kind of feel the same. I don't dislike it, but I also don't find it interesting. And I don't particularly like that particular fold over collar Nike have got on their templates this season. I quite like the badge, how they've done that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay, but
I do think
don't love
that
it.
The big sort of like the big Chelsea badge within the fabric is pretty cool, but because it's not done like the old days where it was either embossed, debossed, it was it's more like a jacquard weave type thing where it's within the fabric. It just doesn't stick out that much. Now, I could eat my words on that. When we see it week in, week out in the Premier League, we might see that badge a bit more. But if a sponsor gets put on it, most of that's going to be covered as well. So I don't know. It just felt like it wasn't prominent enough. But hey, Chelsea fans like it. That's all that matters. So
and that is all that matters, isn't it? So,
Yeah, Chelsea fans, don't get angry with us. On to the next one. New boys. I say new boys. They're not new boys. They're back in the Premier League. They're Premier League OGs.
Again, like going back to like the days of of technology and beer, the days of Coventry City are back, and I am actually here for it. I really am.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to see a Peugeot sponsored shirt again, or is it Isuzu? I think they had. And
yeah.
they had
It was Subaru and Isuzu on the home and the away, wasn't it? So yeah,
that's
there you
it.
go.
Yeah, just some great sponsors. Not as amazing now, but also not offensive. They have Monzo as their sponsor. But this shirt, whose turn is it to go first?
I think it's mine, isn't it? And,
yes. Where'd you go?
Well, this is where we get into the big guns. I gave them 18 points, and they're in third place for me.
Wow.
What did you do?
Okay, so I went relatively high because I went in 8th place with 13 points.
Okay, well, seeing as I liked it more, I'm going to go into it. I just think it's very cool. I like the fact that the Hummel logo is kind of like a yellowy gold color. I like the fact they've gone to stripes again, a bit like what you're saying about Villa. I like the fact that Coventry are one of these teams that mixes it up. And I think it's a very cool shirt. I think it's had a good reaction from fans. I think some fans maybe didn't like it, but then I don't know. Maybe they didn't get because I think it harks back to an older shirt, and Coventry have always mixed up. I mean, they are known for it. I remember like the classic pony days where they had like completely just sky blue, and then they had a lot of dark blue on the shirts as well as the sky blue. They've had stripes before. It's not a new thing, and I think it's very cool, and I think it kind of shows what happens to a Hummel shirt when you don't ruin it with a great big pink circle. So what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I completely agree. Look, as you say, harks back to older shirts. Reminds me, I'm just having a little look through now. It's the 91-92 home shirt that it reminds me of, made by Asics with the Peugeot sponsor. I just think it's a really, really good, solid shirt. Again, we've got a lot of love for Hummel and what they do. With the Bournemouth kit, we've said previously, we don't think that's a Hummel problem. We think that's a Vitality. It is Vitality, isn't it? We think it's their problem.
100%.
This one, I would say, I have a frustration, and I'm going to just quickly get this out. I only really mark this down slightly because I think the Monzo sponsor is badly coloured on that shirt. And considering across the home, the away, and the third, they have 3 different colours that's written, it clearly doesn't matter too much to them what colour it's in. And annoyingly, the colour that they've put on the home shirt, which is like that almost fluorescent orange, is the detailing colour on the away.
It is, yes.
Yet they've put a navy blue Monzo sponsor on the away and the orange one on the home. And it almost looks like it's been done by accident, and it should have been the other way around. Now, I know Monzo, that is their predominant colour, so maybe they asked if they could have that on the home shirt. Okay, I get it. But however, I just look at the 2 shirts as a combo, and it kind of frustrates me a little bit. It kind of makes my brain itch a little bit because it just shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, no. I do agree with you a little bit there. I think maybe because for me, I don't know, they're opposite colours, so like blue and orange look really good together, so it doesn't offend me as much as it could do. But however, you are right, because the Hummel logo is kind of a yellowy colour. They could have either gone like navy or something, I don't know, or maybe even yellow. Something I do like is that they haven't broken it up like the Bournemouth, like the Brighton shirt, for example, which didn't need it. So at least there's that. But I do also take your point that it is quite jarring because it does make the sponsor about the shirt a little bit, if that makes sense. So I get where you're coming from, Mike. I get where you're coming from.
Don't disagree, but all round good shirt. We both think so. So on to the next one with Crystal Palace.
I think you're up first, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I have put this one in 4th place with 17 points.
Okay. So this is one I struggled with. It really is. So again, if you're watching, you'll see it on the screen now. If you're not and you've not seen it, they've actually, a bit similarly to what you were saying earlier about Bayern Munich, they have switched it around and they've gone back to a proper old shirt. It's white with a red and blue diagonal stripe, which as they've had before. They've had it as their away shirt a lot, but they also did have it as their home shirt. I like that idea. I like the fact they've mixed it up. I just don't think the execution is on point, and I don't really think it needed the same design on the sleeves. So I have actually put it in 13th place and gave it 8 points.
Okay, well,
But I tooed and throwed on it. So what did you give it again? Let me write it down.
the fourth place, 17 points.
17. Okay, that's a big difference. That's the biggest difference so far, I think. Between us.
It is. I think I like it for all the reasons you don't, because I like the way the sash is done with the two colors and then almost a white pinstripe running through it. I like the fact that style of stripe then runs down the sleeve. I just like the shirt. I think the sponsor looks really, really good on it. The Crystal Palace badge being in the middle of the two colors on the sash stripe is really good. I just think it looks really, really smart. I like it. I like Macron. I like what they do. I think they've done some amazing shirts for Palace over the last few seasons. I like this. Just for any of the nerds out there that care, as Adam said, they have had this design as their home shirt before. I had a quick look and I think it was 0809 was the last time they had this white shirt with a red and blue sash, but they've had it going back to the 80s as well. It's a relatively, I suppose, a recurring variation of their home shirt from over
it's
the
not
years.
common, but it's not uncommon as well. Really,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I really like it. I mean, obviously, because you've gone lower, it's going to mark it down overall a little, but still, even with that, it's going to finish up quite high in our little scores here. So yeah, no, all round good for me. I like it. Up next.
Right. Up next is Everton, isn't it?
Everton, and it's you first. What are we saying?
And it is me first. And so I actually put it down in 17th and gave it 4 points. I think it's fine. Like, I don't. There are three that are definitely worse than it, but I don't particularly like Castore anyway. I'm not a fan of their stuff. And I think this kind of Everton shirt's been done before. Obviously, we've seen a blue shirt with white, but with a flash of yellow. Umbro have done that before. I think it's fine, but it's also Everton, so I'm probably slightly biased. So yeah, I had it way down in 17th.
Maybe slightly biased, but I don't care about Everton, and I put it in 15th with 4 points. No, 6 points. Sorry, 15th with 6 points. There's nothing offensive about it. But again, as a neutral, I don't look at it. I'm not wowed by it. I don't go, oh my God, have you seen Everton's home shirt this year? I like the little flash of yellow on it as well. I think that's a very Everton thing. I like it, but I think the shirt is okay. Again, I've seen relatively positive things from Everton fans. I've seen quite a few negatives. So it's as always, no, you're never going to make everybody happy. But yeah, I honestly don't really have an awful lot to say about it. It's just okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say it is the worst of the average ones. And as I said, there are three for me that are proper stinkers. And Everton are the worst of the rest. So, yeah.
Fair. On to the next one. And we are at Fulham. Now, my answer to this would be very different if we were talking about their away shirt. Because before I talk about the home, I think that away shirt is spectacular. I think it's brilliant.
So that is the red and black kind of almost check, but like splodgy
blotted checks. Yeah. I think it's really good. It's really original. They've used the old school badge on it. Really, really good. Really unique. The complete opposite of the home. I understand that it's not always easy to do new things with kits that are expected to be very uniform every season. And I'm not against that. I understand. But this one, unfortunately, looks no different in any way to at least 3, maybe 4 Fulham shirts you could pick from the last 15 years. I like the way of the recent seasons they mixed up sort of like the colours of the stripes on the sleeves and little flashes of colour in different places and so on. But this one, it just, I don't know, it's got nothing. So for me, I put this one in 17th with just 4 points.
Okay. No, I think solid reasoning. I was a little bit more generous and I put it in 11th and gave it 10 points. So, sorry, you gave it?
17th and 4 points.
4 points. I need to start writing down. When you say the points, I need to start writing it down. So I gave it 10 points and put it in 11th, which I think is essentially mid-table, isn't it? And this is how I feel about this one. I think the positive of it is that it's a current Adidas shirt and they are very nicely done. I do like the flash of red. I do like how this has become their tertiary colour, so it's white, then black. And with a flash of red, I do agree with you that it's quite nice when they mix it up with the colours on the stripes, and it would have been cool to maybe see a red stripe in there as well, especially with these thicker ones, a bit like what Arsenal did with different colour stripes. But it does look nice, though. I get what you mean, that it's maybe not the most different shirt, but I think it does what Fulham need it to do. So, yeah. I've been a bit more generous with it.
Yeah, look, that's completely fair. And again, if there are any Fulham fans listening, I'm not trying to be offensive by saying that. I'm legitimately not. Again, just as a neutral, this one it's almost a very neutral shirt to me. There's certainly nothing offensive about it. Looking at it, it's a really, really clean football shirt and it's smart enough. And on the pitch, it'll probably look pretty good. It'll look sleek. But when you're putting it in a list of shirts, unfortunately, they're just a lot that I think are better. That's all. Yeah.
That's fair enough. On we go. We're over halfway through. This is good. We're running through.
Are. Adam, you first for Hull City.
So again, do you know what? This is another one I ummed about. But do you know what? I think considering Oxen are not a particularly big brand, and I think a lot of Hull fans were maybe slightly worried because they were going to the Premier League, having had Kappa for so many years, who did a grand job with them. I think it's all right. And actually, I've put them in 6th and given them 15 points. I think it's again, those of you watching, you will see it. Hopefully, I mean, people listening to this podcast, you know football shirts. You're nerds like us. It's a very retro shirt, very thick black and amber stripes, and then it's got a great big white collar and white cuffs. And then it's got the Hull City FC kind of just written in cursive writing rather than the badge. I like it. I think it's good.
So I like it as well.
Oh, okay. I thought you could say so. No, I hate
it. No, I really, 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 really like it. So much so that I've actually put this in 2nd place with 19 points.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, there we go. No, that's good.
Yeah, I really like it. I only know of Oxen. I believe I can recall them because there's a chap that I follow on Twitter who shares a lot of Doncaster United shirts. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they made Doncaster shirts.
And Link, I feel it's them and Lincoln, I think, but I could be wrong on that. They're not a major brand.
No, but I was taken back by how good this shirt looked. Like I'd seen it on release and I thought, oh, that looked good. But again, when I'm sitting down, I'm taking a little bit more time to physically look at these, in order to do this podcast. I just realized it's an incredibly nice shirt. It's really good. When you see this shirt up close, there's a really, really nice pattern within the fabric as well, which just adds a little bit of depth to the shirt itself. As you say, the shirt is a throwback. It's an old-fashioned stripe style. We've got the Oxen logo, which actually looks really, really good on a football shirt, by the way. I think it looks really clean. They've gone to just a HCAFC sort of like font logo type badge that runs diagonally in one of the amber stripes. And it's got a big chunky white collar and cuff. And then when you add the sponsor into it as well in white, it all just ties in really, really nicely. And I think for me, it's a near perfect football kit. Like I really think so. I genuinely think it's really, really good. If somebody would have said to me that I'd be putting an Oxen football shirt as my second best home kit of the Premier League season this year, I wouldn't have believed them. But having looked through it, because I went from bottom to top on mine, like I say, the further I went through, the more I just realized I really, really like that shirt. And it's come out almost on top. And paired up with white shorts, it looks good as well. It's got the capability to go with black shorts on the pitch. It's just a really, really good, solid football shirt. I really like it.
I mean, I think this is obviously going to change, but at the moment, I think they are top of the leaderboard. But my maths is terrible, so if you can add 19 and 15 together.
I have the same result as you currently, Adam, so you're doing okay.
Excellent.
All good. Right, on to the next one.
And it's Ipswich next. Ugh.
Ipswich Town. Again, local bias for you. I'll go first. This is a mid-table shirt. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. There's a nice enough pattern within the shirt as well, but just nothing that makes it stand out for me. It's certainly not bad in any way. So I've put this at 11th with 10 points.
Can I just shock you? I really like this shirt.
Oh,
I genuinely do. And I think Umbro have done a brilliant job with Ipswich in their time with them. And I think this is no exception. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, but I really like the kind of diamond pattern in it.
Yeah, so Ipswich Town, you really, really like it. I've given my score. Adam, what are we saying?
So I've given them 17 points. They're in fourth. I think it's a good shirt. I think it's not I don't know. I just like Umbro, and I think they've done a really good job with them. I think it's got an inoffensive sponsor as well, which I think helps it. I think with the other shirts, which we will, talk about in another episode, but like the away shirt, it mixes well with that. I actually like it, and it pains me to say it because it is Ipswich, and I do not like them in any way, shape, or form. But there we go. Maybe I've overscored them. I feel a bit weird about it now, but yeah.
I am surprised by you liking an Ipswich shirt that much, though. Right, let's get on to the next one because I've got some stuff to say about this one.
Go on,
Leeds United.
Okay.
It's you first. I'm going to let you go.
Okay, so again, this was one of the ones where I didn't love it, so it's not in my high ones. But I appreciated they did something a little bit different, and I think it is worthy of mid-table. So I gave it 12 points, and I put it in 9th place. I don't like the sponsor. It drives me mad that Red Bull are happy to change the colour of them on away shirts, but on the home shirt, it stands out so much. And again, I know you mentioned about Coventry with Monzo, but I think the blue and the orange, they do match up quite nicely. But when you've got yellow and blue mixed with white, and there's such strong colours for Leeds to have the logo the way it is with the Red Bulls literally on them. I know. But yeah, I think it's okay. But I feel like you have very strong opinions, so this could go either way. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I hate it.
I
really don't like it. It for me, I just don't feel like it works. I don't know what it is. There's something really jarring about it for me when I look at it. I don't know what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I love the color combination, the white, the yellow, the blue. Someone who collects Fenerbahce shirts, that's a dream color combination for me. But on this shirt, I just don't know what it is. Something just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know if it is the pinstripes themselves. I don't know if it's the way they end on the sort of, but they don't go onto the sleeves. So the sleeves just kind of cut up it and they're just kind of white block color. I don't know. I just can't. Yeah, I can't like it in any way. So for me, I put it down in 18th with just 3 points.
Okay, wow. So 3 points, 18. So that's one of your bad. Well, okay. So
that's
we're not
one of my
thinking the same
ones.
with the bad shirts. Right. Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah, that's that. On we go.
Well, we're on to a big one now, aren't we?
We are. And I'm going to go first to try and stop speaking for a minute. We are on to Liverpool FC. Now, you're wearing the away, Adam, which is a magnificent football shirt.
Yeah.
And I think the home's just as good. I really do. I think it's brilliant. We've spoken about the shirt on this podcast already because obviously you purchased it when it pretty much first got released. I think it's really, really good. We've seen it on the pitch. It looks really good on the pitch. I just really, really like it. Is there a bit of nostalgia in there because it reminds me of John Barnes and Ian Rush? Yeah, probably. But that's what a football shirt should do. The design of it just stokes that. And I've actually put it up in 3rd place with 18 points.
So we've got 18 points for Liverpool. So obviously I talked about it on the pod and I said that I did have a couple of issues with it. But we're not basing it on, the fit of the shirt because I don't know what the fit of what the other shirts are like because I don't have them in hand. We're basing it purely on design aesthetics, what it looks like on the pitch, what we think of the design. And this isn't bias. It genuinely isn't bias. But I actually put it in 2nd and I gave it 19. for everything that you said. I think it is nostalgic, but it's not the same colour. The pattern is different. I love the fact that the pattern goes all the way around. I think it's a very bold shirt, and it's not something we often see with home shirts. Again, like we saw Fulham, perfectly fine mid-table shirt. It does the job. But this is actually something quite spectacular. And yeah, so I actually went higher than you. I stuck him in second place. So yeah, that's doing very well. And I promise that's not bias. I promise it isn't.
No, look, I completely agree. I think it's a great shirt, and it deserves to be up there. So from one great shirt to the next one, Manchester City home shirt. What do you think?
So I put this way down in 19th, and I gave it 2.
Wow.
I think it's dreadful. I don't particularly like Gradian shirts anyway. I don't particularly like Puma. I think Puma, when they're good, they're very good, but I don't think there's been a Man City home shirt that I've gone, actually, yeah, I really like that. They've had some really good away shirts that they have. There was that lovely Paisley one they had. And I think the same season they had like a darker one with like kind of bronze writing. They had the Hacienda one, which I love, like the black one, which had like the neon colours on it. It was almost like like the warning tape striped down one of the arms. But home shirt wise, I think they've been treading water for a long time. And I think this is up there with their very, very worst ones. I think it's just meh. I don't like it at all. So yeah, I've whacked it down in 19th place. How about you, Mike?
Look, I'm very much on the meh train as well. Not as bad as yourself, because I've put it in 13th place with 8 points, and it's purely because I thought the shirts that I put below it, I just liked them fractionally less than this one, if that makes sense. I don't like it. I don't hate it. I think it's very meh. A bit like you, I do generally struggle with Puma most of the time. I do think they've had a few really, really good shirts over the last few years, but they're very few and far between. And so far this year, if I had to tell you what my favorite Puma shirt would be, it would be the goalkeeper template that they use. It's, for me, it's a really old school. If anyone hasn't seen this, I know Adam will probably put it up on the screen, but it harks back to an old Puma template of the sort of like mid 90s to early 2000s, when they had the Puma cell technology in all of their boots and so on. And I actually really, really like it. And it comes in a few colors, but the rest of what I've seen so far from them is just so nondescript. And that's what this is. It's just meh. There's just nothing to it.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, but actually even more so because I gave it a very, very damning. In fact, my second worst behind that Bournemouth one. So yeah.
So from one half of Manchester to the other, Manchester United. I will go first, Adam. Oh, is it me first? Yes, it's me first.
I think it is. Yeah.
I don't hate this shirt. I've actually put it in my top 10. It creeps in at number 9 with 12 points for me. I don't hate it. I think it looks clean. It looks smart. The little bit of black in the collar and cuff looks good. Yeah, decent shirt. Really, quite a strong shirt, I think.
So I pretty much almost exactly agree. I went one more than you. So it got 13 points from me, and it's in 8th place. It's one of those ones where I don't love the stripes on it. I think they may be a little bit too thick because they're just completely white. And I think I saw someone on, I think it was on Instagram actually, saying like from a distance, it almost looked a little bit Arsenal-like because those stripes are so thick from a distance. But I like the fact it's got a red collar. I think that tempers it a little bit. It's the same template as the Villa shirt, which I quite like, with the collar and the kind of like the rectangle underneath the collar. I think it works as a Manchester United shirt. Again, if they were feeling like really bold, they could have maybe done something with the thicker stripes, maybe added like a black one or something. I don't know. But I think it's a solid shirt. I think it looks nice. And especially in long sleeve, when it's all patched up, it does look very good on the pitch. So yeah, so I stuck it in 8th.
Agreed. Fair. On to the next. Right. Here we go. Shit just got real, Adam.
It did.
Newcastle United home shirt. I believe it is your turn first, so go ahead.
Well, I talked about 3 shirts that I particularly didn't like, which were in my bottom, and one of them was Bournemouth, one of them was Manchester City, and in 18th place with 3 points is Newcastle. I just don't think this works on any conceivable level. I think it is, again, it's those big Adidas stripes. I quite like the colour. Again, I like it when Newcastle mix it up with an interesting third colour to go with the black and white stripes. They've had blue before. They've also had orange as like, I think it was like 96, 97 time. They had like the Adidas logo written in text in orange. And I really like that one. I think with the barcode kind of design, the light blue stripes are just too much. I think it's too much altogether, and I don't think it works as a cohesive kind of thing. But I think the barcode idea was a bad idea on this template. I think that the barcode shirt could work on a template that doesn't have massive stripes. That's my issue with it. So yeah, I think they dropped the ball on it quite a lot, and I've stuck them down in 18th.
Agree with everything. I've put this in number 20 with just 1 point. It's awful. I just can't see any redeeming feature with it. I don't hate Newcastle shirts. I generally think they've got sometimes one of the best looking shirt in the league. I love a traditional stripe. I don't mind breaking away from tradition sometimes if you're going to do something a little bit different, but this just doesn't work on any level. Like you say, I think you're probably right. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's this template with this shirt doesn't work. I agree with you. The color of the stripes is a cool color, but it does not work on this shirt because it makes everything look even busier. And then there's the sponsor. The sponsor just looks awful on this shirt. Everything is too busy. It looks too slapped together. It looks like they had this idea for the barcode shirt and they just shoehorned it in to this year instead of working with a template that it fits to.
Exactly.
It just doesn't work for me.
Again, completely agree, because I don't mind the barcode design. They've had that kind of thing before. It just, yeah, you're right. They've crowbarred it into this year's design and it doesn't work. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Yeah, so's Newcastle. We've only got 3 more to go. And I'm not going to give spoilers away, but neither of us have given out our number 1 yet.
No, we haven't.
And those of you who are very much into football shirts will know, and Premier League in general will know, that there are 3 teams, Nottingham Forest, Sunderland and Tottenham, left. I feel like we've got the same number 1 because 2 of these shirts are distinctely average, and
right,
one
Adam,
of them is
stop
not.
Spoiling it, will you? Because the people listening wouldn't have figured that out yet.
They absolutely
have. Yeah. Let's just keep going though and get this through. Right. Let's just quickly do the next 2 before we both give our number 1. Right. Nottingham Forest,
which is my number 1. No, I'm joking.
No, it's not.
So what did you give it, Mike?
I've put this in 10th place with 11 points. Don't think it's a terrible shirt. I like the fact they've done something a little bit different with a relatively plain red shirt with the sort of like that almost marbled red pattern in it. It's okay. Again, their away shirt is probably a lot stronger than their home this year, but it's not offensive. It's just a decent mid-table shirt. So yeah, 10th place, 11 points.
So I put it in 12th and gave it 9 points. So again, this is another one I denied, but then I had to remember that I was judging it by this season, not comparing it to last season's shirt solely. I'm comparing it to the rest of the shirts in the league. If I compared it to last season's shirts, I would probably put it bottom, because I thought the last season pinstripe shirt with the kind of shield around it, I thought that was excellent. And this is a huge downgrade. However, it's not that bad. It's fine. I thought that the blur behind it was a bit wishy-washy. I think it's like, it was something to do with, like, you know, it's the murky waters of the Trent or something. I don't know. I memory hold it because it was such a blurb and inspiration, but it's actually fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
just fine. Agreed. Adam.
Hello.
Sunderland.
Sunderland.
I believe it's you first. Where did you put the Sunderland home shirt?
So I put this in 14th. We obviously both really like this because we haven't given it away.
I've got an idea. Right. Let's forget Sunderland exists for a minute. Where did you put the Spurs shirt, Adam?
I put that in 14th. I gave that 7
and
points.
I actually also put that in 14th. So we've actually tied up on that.
Excellent.
It's an okay shirt. Again, it's a bit meh. It's just a white shirt with some pattern within the fabric. That's pretty much it. Do you have anything to add to that?
Not hugely, in all honesty. I think it's one of those ones which it's fine, but we've said before they would never bring this in, and I know some fans have said no, like what if we end up with a Castore? But I think, especially home shirt wise, Nike and Spurs have been treading water for quite a while now, and I would love to see them just have something else just to mix it up. I think it's a very identikit kind of thing. It's fine, but it's a bit like the Chelsea shirt. It's okay. They've been with Nike for a long time. I do think Nike need to mix it up a little bit anyway. Yeah, it's fine. It's a mid-table shirt, mid to low mid-table. Let's get to the good stuff, Mike.
Agreed. So yes, Adam, sorry, what was you saying? Where did you put your Sunderland shirt?
I put it squarely at number 1. Where did you put it, Mike?
I also put, look, I think this is a good thing. I put it squarely at number 1 as well. Look, it's a beautiful football shirt. It just is. It just looks so good. I'm not surprised that we both picked this as the number 1. If you didn't put this at number 1, you would have had it at number 2 or possibly number 3, which overall would probably have still made this our combined number 1 home shirt of the season. It is both everything that a Sunderland shirt should be, and as a neutral, I would expect a Sunderland shirt to be, whilst also just still looking somehow unique and really, really smart. And the way they've put it together, it's just really well constructed. It's good.
Yeah, well, obviously I agree. We both put it at number 1. This is going to sound controversial, and I don't want any Sunderland fans to get annoyed at me, but I'm not a massive fan of their badge. I don't think it's something about the dimensions of it and just the layout is a little bit busy for my liking, which is weird because they've stuck it in a retro shield and that should make it even more busy. But actually, I think it works really nicely and I think it suits the retro kind of design. One thing I would say is that we don't know what the sponsor is yet at the time of record, I don't think. And part of the charm of it, I think it looks quite retro without the sponsor. These things can always make or break a shirt, but that said, we know it's not going to be a crappy betting sponsor with like a random bunch of symbols and a casino token on it. So hopefully a sponsor won't completely ruin it. The stripes go around the back. It's just a very nice shirt. It's got like a shadow print in the fabric, so it's got a modern feel to it, but kind of aesthetically, it looks like it could have walked from like the 1930s or something, to be honest. Hummel have done a great job with it, and if only Vitality had listened, Bournemouth could have been up there as well. Like, imagine this shirt in like black and red stripes with the retro Bournemouth badge on it. It would have been great. But yeah, anyway, their loss, Sunderland's gain. Number 1, 40 points in total from us.
I was glad of one thing, because was it last season on one of their kits, Sunderland had that really terrible version of a badge with like the black cat that it was them.
Yeah,
Look, it was the third kit.
Didn't like that.
Yeah, if they would have slapped that terrible badge from the Sunderland third shirt last season, it would have just ruined this whole shirt. I agree about their badge. I don't think it's the most aesthetically pleasing. Looks better within that shield on this. It all just ties in really, really well. And I think what I like about it is the same thing I like about the whole shirt, is that it's a good traditional looking shirt for modern day football that still has some of the modern day stuff in there. Because when you look up close, as we said, it's got the shadow patterns, it's got the technology of a modern shirt. It just looks really, really good. And like I say, I am just not surprised at all. We have both put that at number 1. So yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. I do have one more little thing for you, because I want to quickly do this, and I want to quickly do our like little recommendations things. I think
before we do that, this week, can I just very quickly say, that means Sunderland is our number one. Looking at this, I believe that Liverpool are number 2.
Yep. I've written them down as well in the
And
order.
then
I did the
Hull
top 5.
Would be number 3. Do you agree with that?
I do, yep.
And then number 4, we've got Villa.
Yep.
And then Coventry.
Yeah. So that's what I
That's
get.
a solid top 5.
I think it is. That's 5 really, really good football shirts. I think the Villa one will divide opinions.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it always does anyway. There'll be somebody out there that tells us why the Sunderland shirt is horrific. It happens. But I did want to throw something else into the mix.
Go on then.
With this. I had a little look, and I'm going to run through these quite quickly, but I'm going to do a little quiz for you first. So, Adam, I went through and had a look at the cost of all of these home shirts from the different Premier League teams. I would like you just to tell me, before I read through them, who you think has the most expensive shirt this season and who you think is selling their shirt for and I'm going to do this in inverted commas, cheapest price.
Okay, so expensive. Surely one of the Adidas ones in long sleeve, authentic, or maybe the...
I will just say, right, so apologies. Let me just give you a few restrictions on this. I did this purely with the standard versions of all shirts in short sleeve. So essentially the cheapest version of the home shirt you could buy in an adult size.
Okay. I don't know if Nike or Adidas are more expensive, to be honest. Okay, so for the cheapest, I'm going to take an educated guess and say Hull. Purely because of the manufacturer and also because they are a championship team coming up, and often championship teams, unless they are with like an Adidas or something like that, will generally maybe have cheaper shirts. Because I think Sunderland's shirt's quite reasonable as well. But yeah, I'm going to go Hull. Most expensive, I don't know, Chelsea.
You're going to go Chelsea. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go through them very, very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go from 20 up to number 1, 20 being the cheapest. So in at number 20 is Hull with £64 for that beautiful Oxen shirt. Again, for anybody out there, I know that's not a cheap price, but in this little game, it's the cheapest. Then there were 4 teams whose shirts were £1 more expensive at £65. That's Sunderland, Ipswich, Palace, and Brentford. £65. Got a little bit more of a jump then, because then 3 teams go up to £70, which is Coventry, Brighton, and Bournemouth. You couldn't pay me £70 to wear that Bournemouth shirt. Mm-hmm. Then we jump up a little bit again to £75, and there are 2 teams at 75, which is Nottingham Forest and Leeds. There is 1 team, which is 10th in this table, on £80, and that is the Everton shirt. Then we've got a big chunk of teams all on 85. And this is from 3rd place down to 9th. All the same price, £85. Newcastle, Manchester United, Liverpool, Fulham, Aston Villa and Arsenal, which are obviously all Adidas teams. And then Man City in their Puma shirt are there in there as well at 85. Then in 2nd place, I've done this from the website prices, by the way, is the Chelsea shirt at $89.99. Meaning the most expensive shirt by a penny is the Spurs shirt, because theirs is dead on £90.
Shocking.
Yeah. The one thing that kind of threw me when I was doing this was I realised, so we've got Nottingham Forest and Leeds, who are both made by Adidas, at £75. But then Newcastle, Manchester United, Liverpool, Fulham, Aston Villa, Arsenal are also Adidas, but are £85, which that, for me, that doesn't make sense.
Well, same with Sunderland being cheaper than Bournemouth and Coventry. Interesting.
And Coventry. Very interested. Yeah, I thought that was just an interesting extra little spin to put on it, because I did contemplate saying to you that I would do this table and kind of like give them all extra points based on their costs. And I thought, no, that's going to sway too much of it. And then we could have a really bad shirt with a really good score. But I do think it's interesting to see. And like you say, I like the fact that you immediately just thought, Oxen, the new boys are going to be the cheapest. It's absolutely right. Might only be by £1, but you can pick up that absolutely beautiful whole shirt for £64. So yeah, Good. That was interesting,
There we
Adam.
go.
Really
It
enjoyed
was.
that.
No, yeah, I enjoyed that. And a few surprises, but then agreeing on the number one shirts. And we are experts. So basically, if you disagree with us, then you're an idiot.
Yeah, we got a podcast and everything.
Exactly. Where's your podcast?
Yeah. Where's your podcast? Anyway, Adam's getting all feisty. Let's move on. No, that was really good. I think we definitely need to try and snip a few bits of these up and get them out on the socials. And I keep saying I'm going to try and figure out all this technical stuff and do that myself. And I will actually try on.
Please do, because it's literally my day job, and I get very tired of doing social media stuff. Like, it's literally my job.
I completely understand, but Adam, very quickly before we end this podcast and stop boring everybody to death, which I'm sure we're not doing really. If you've made it an hour in and we're boring you to death, you need to find a new hobby.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else have you been doing recently, Adam? Have you been reading anything? Have you been watching anything? Or have you been playing any new games?
Yes, and yes. So, those of you that have been listening for a little while now will know that I've been reading a lot of comic books, and I think I'm up to over 70 comic books read this year so far. So that's very good. A lot of them are kind of rereads and stuff like that, so I won't actually bore you with it. The last one I read, which I told you about, was Preacher. So I've been reading something a little bit kind of lighter energy. And TV-wise, I've been still rewatching ER, so that's nothing new. So I'm going to talk about gaming. So I've only played this game once because it's a multiplayer game that you have to play with friends. It was free on the PlayStation Store when it came out, and it's made by the company. Have you heard of Untitled Goose Game?
I haven't, no.
Okay, some people listening must have heard of it. It's a game where you play as a goose and you attack people, and it's brilliant. This developer released a new game called Big Walk, and essentially you and a bunch of friends just go on a big walk and you have to solve puzzles together. But the way it works is you can only hear your friends when you're near them. So, for example, there was 5 of us. So it's cross-play. So I was playing on the PlayStation. My wife was actually upstairs playing on the Switch 2. We have a Switch 2. And 4 of my other friends were playing as well. And was it 4? No, 3, sorry. There was 5 of us in total. But when you're playing, you can only hear when you're near each other. And so one of my friends just kept running off, and we're like, Patrick, where are you going? Oh, he can't hear us anymore. And he kept getting lost. And it's like on a day-night cycle. And it's just, I've never played anything quite like it. And so we played it last Tuesday. By the time this goes out, because today is Monday we're recording, we're playing again this Tuesday. It's just a wonderful experience. You kind of have to go around solving puzzles, but you can kind of get lost. And there are some points where, like, on the third day, for example, because again, like, it's on a time loop type of thing. But me and one of my friends kind of got separated from everyone else. So we were just like kind of wandering about talking to each other. And the other 3 had disappeared somewhere else. And it's a really interesting way of doing something. It's called a Big Walk. And I've never played anything quite like it. And I think that's a rarity in the world of gaming. So that's my big recommendation. If you've got friends you play online with, and especially if you've got PlayStation, because it was free on there, it's only like 15 quid anyway. Big Walk. I recommend it. Mike, what have you been up to?
So, I've been up to a few different things, really. I haven't watched...
Scary thing. Oh, a man got stabbed with a knitting needle in the
I
buttock.
have watched less TV and stuff over the last few weeks because I've actually been out and about doing things. So I mentioned this to you, Adam. Recently, I picked myself up a camera. I've watched at least 8 photography TikToks, so I'm basically a photographer now. So I go out and
See, that doesn't match up with the text message, the WhatsApp you sent me where you said photography is actually really hard, isn't it?
Adam, it's so hard. It's so hard because you see it and you go, that's going to make a good photo. And then you do it on the camera and it goes, oh, that looks shit. So it's like, it's genuinely so hard. But I'm learning, Adam. I'm learning. But that's why I haven't been watching as much, because I've been out with my family and trying to do that a little bit. But I have watched a few things. So I'm currently watching the Clone Wars, the Star Wars animated series, which is just brilliant. I think I'm up to season 3 of that now, and it's just getting better and better all the time. Me and my wife have been watching Reacher with Alan Richardson, who I really, really like as an actor and as a guy. I think he's a pretty stand-up guy. I like him a lot. But my recommendation is a movie, but it's kind of gaming based. So Adam, did you ever play the Silent Hill games back in day?
I did not actually play them myself, but my friends did, and sometimes I would watch them and I got a little bit scared.
Yes, so it is a horror recommendation. I'm going to use that term very loosely because for me it's not too much of a horror. So a fair few years ago, Silent Hill 1 and 2 came out. Good movies, good solid movies, not necessarily too true to the games though. But recently Return to Silent Hill came out. This movie doesn't have a good review. So if you go on IMDb, it'll be rated like a 4 out of 10 or something. I don't pay any attention to reviews on IMDb because if people don't like something, they just review bomb it, even if they haven't seen it. I've watched this movie. It's relatively low budget, but the one thing it is much, much more true to the game. So it is basically loosely based around Silent Hill 2. And I actually really, really liked it. It's not too intensely scary, but there is a really, really good atmosphere to the movie when you watch it. As I say, if you played the games, especially the original Silent ones, Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2 and so on, it will feel familiar to you. And I think as a gamer, you'll probably enjoy it. So my recommendation, if you like video games and specifically Silent Hill 2, to go and watch that movie because it's on, I think I watched it on Prime as just part of the free Prime streaming. So yeah, it's good. And it's not too scary, Adam. It's okay for scares.
Well, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice.
Yeah.
There we go. That was a good episode. Enjoyed that. It was good fun.
Enjoyed that. I think maybe, Adam, we should do some more HomeKit reviews on the next episode as well. Maybe we should go to the big leagues around Europe and maybe.
See, there was me thinking that we need to do the away shirts and the third shirts of the Premier League. But
I do think that. But what if we break it up a little bit and we do a different one next week with some sort of European shirts and so on, or even
let's try
worldwide
that.
ones, and then we can come back to the aways and then do a little bit different and then come back to the thirds or so on. We're not going to do for all you goalkeeper nerds. We are not going to do a goalkeeper shirt review.
Absolutely not.
Because
although the Liverpool goalie shirt is actually quite cool, so you know. And as you mentioned, the Puma template is quite good this year. But yeah.
It is.
We're still not going to do it. No, because
with goalkeeper shirts, they very much are templates, and a lot of them are just the same. But yeah, that was good. Enjoyed that. Yeah, we'll get some stuff out on the socials. If you don't already follow us on all the stuff, we don't really post a lot on Twitter and so on because me and Adam are far too busy for all of that nonsense.
We have jobs. Very busy jobs.
I have jobs. I have 2 children. As I said, I'm now a professional photographer as well. So it's like I have so much to do in my
You're a regular
time.
David Bailey. So yeah.
Yeah, because I know him.
All right, you're a regular Olive Edis, which is an incredibly niche photographer that only my wife would know because she once did an exhibition on her. So there you go. That's your homework. Look up Olive Edis's photography. Anyway, we got very niche there.
I'm going to go and do that now, Adam, and nobody else is. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to the pod, and goodbye, Deli Alley Wave, as always. Bye, Adam.
Deli Alley Wave. Bye, everyone.